Hey guys, I'm Everett. Welcome back to the channel. Well, the old Beshagginwagon here, I'm getting a little more gutsy about driving it and getting it shaken down after it had sit for, oh gosh, now, 76, I believe, is the last time I saw it. It was licensed. I assume last time it was on the road. Just been running around the neighborhood here, and I noticed that whenever I not lock it up left to right, but turn pretty hard one way or the other, I could hear a distinct rubbing sound. I thought it was just the suspension. Got it up on the lift, got to looking around. Come to find out, I've got 15-inch tires here on the front, and the offset is not exactly correct for the car for this application, and it's rubbing the control arm just ever so slightly. So my plan to take care of that, I'm going to take the wheels off here, take my side grinder, and grind it down. I'll once I get set up, I'll show you before I take the wheel off what it looks like under the car. So hang with me and be back here in just a minute. Thanks. All right, guys, as you can see, hope you can here. I'll try to get in there as close as I can, but right there is where the interference is coming. And as you can see on the wheel, it's not that bad. So that's why I'm not too concerned about just knocking that control arm down just ever so slightly to take care of it. This is the passenger side, but the driver's side is a mirror image of it. So let's get started and let's get the wheels off and see what we're dealing with. All right, on this side, when I got these wheels, of course, when I bought the car, it just had the stock 14-inch steel wheels. I wanted to naturally go something a little, in my opinion, a little better, make it look a little better. I found these on Facebook Marketplace. These are 15s on the front, 16s on the back, which required me to buy new lug nuts. Unfortunately, on this side, these are right-hand threads. Also, the lug nuts came with this fancy-dancy anti-theft. Just remember on the other side, on the driver's side of the car, Mopars, I can't remember the exact range, but for the longest time, they used left-handed thread lug nuts. So if you're going to take that tire off, keep that in mind, or you're going to probably wind up busting breaking the lug stud off in it. And two, before you put it in the comments, yep, I still use a trusted and tried true air impact. I haven't bought one of those fancy battery powered. I like them. No more than I do. To me, it doesn't justify spending it. This is a good old Ingersoll brand that I've had, I don't know how long. So hang with me. Let's get this thing off. You can see here what type of lug nuts I ended up having to get. These conical shape here on the ends. Previously, before I showed y'all what was rubbing there, I had gotten under there and I had marked the control arms where I think it needs to be to take care of it. So I don't want to take off any more than I have to. Yeah, I can see my marks here. Probably a little tough for you all to see on camera here. I'll see if I can get you in there. Yeah, get the light there. As you can see, just to the left of the top of the ball joint there, I've made a couple of little marks here and here. One interesting thing I've learned on these old Mopars is this ball joint. This is, I don't know if the camera, yeah, you can see the flats on the ball joint here. These are actually screwed into the control arm, and there's naturally a special socket to get those things out. I have kind of played around with the suspension as far as wiggling it, and what little bit I've driven it, I think the front suspension is really in pretty decent shape. I probably do need to go ahead and spring and get some new shocks. They've definitely, I don't know if you can see it here or not from this angle. Yeah, right in here. These babies have been leaking. When I got the car, it didn't have any shocks on the rear, so I had to naturally put those on there. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pause right here. Y'all don't need to see me taking a side grinder to that and grinding on it. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I got it knocked down here. On camera, it looks a little worse than it is, in the sense that it looks like maybe I took out a whole lot of material, but actually I didn't. I thought this lip kind of came up and rolled out, but actually it just it stays the same basic shape and just kind of flares out here. So I probably have taken off not quite 1/8 of an inch through here, from here to here. And then I also noticed just one little spot where it had, I don't know if that's perhaps me getting the wheel on and off, but it was kind of nicked up here, so I went ahead and knocked that off. You can also see where the shavings come off the wheel there, just like on a lathe when it was when I was going around a corner. So I'm gonna put the wheel back on there, get back under there, give it a few good turns. Of course, I'm really not going to know anything till get it back out on the road and do some cornering, load the suspension up with weight and see what happens. But I'm thinking, hoping I'll, if that's all I got to do there, then I'll take a little paint and spray on there just to keep that from rusting. As heavy as that is, that's not going to rust out anytime soon, though. Also, something else I'd like to point out that I learned when I was swapping to these aftermarket wheels is your hubs. I had to get these, the hubs, which is evidently fairly common on aftermarket wheels, is larger to accommodate various manufacturers. So I had to get these spacers, got them off Amazon, to fill in that space between the wheel and the hub, in this case on this drum brake. But you can encounter the same thing on disc brakes as well. So just to get ready to swap wheels, be sure to keep that in mind. And like I say, on the Mopars, don't forget over there on that driver's side, left-hand wheel lugs. So I'm going to put all this back together. I'll get under there and give it a turn, and then I'll get back. All right, I'm back under here. Got the wheel all bolted back on, and as you can see, I think I've gotten just enough off of there. That sound you hear, that is the brake shoe dragging just slightly, not the actual wheel hitting the control arm up there. So we hopefully I'll get this thing back down on the ground. Probably not in this video, but I will give you an update later as to whether or not that did take care of it. I feel fairly confident it will, and like I say, I'll hit that with a little paint there just to keep it from rusting. So we'll catch you back up on top. Well, fellas, I did the other side the exact same way. Took off about the same amount of material, although I did hopefully fix another issue I've had since I've barely gotten this thing back on the road, and that is the braking system. I put all new wheel cylinders and rubber hoses from the steel line over to the wheel cylinders. The original brake shoes and drums, those all look good. I took a little bit of emery cloth, cleaned up the drums, kind of lubricated everything. But I noticed that, and I also replaced the wheel bearings at the same time. I noticed that when I hit the brakes, this right side was diving. Not bad, but just a little bit. So, and as we all know, it's generally speaking, if this is the side that's diving, it's over there that you got your issue. Well, when I took the wheel off over here so I could grind that control arm, and I did that, and then I started turning the brake drum just to see how that was all acting. There was a tremendous amount of free play front to back on the drum itself. So took the cotter key out, took the castle nut off. I probably got a turn or a turn and a half on that nut to load that bearing up. I'm hoping that was my problem. Won't be able to let you know in this video whether that took care of the problem or not, but it definitely it was loose and needed to be tightened up. So, hey, again, thanks to everybody for watching. If you like what you see, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe. And, hey, leave some comments down here. I love talking to people. So, with that, catch you on the next one.